If you want fast and efficient on-press trimming but don't want the heavy price tag of a full system, Armanov has you covered. In this video, we're going to talk about Armanov's router case trim kit. Hey guys, Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. We have shown you multiple on-press powered case trimmers. They are awesome, they're fast, efficient. You can use them on a single stage, a turret, or a progressive. But they do carry a hefty price tag, and that's where Armanov's router case trim kit comes in handy. It comes in this nice tube here, and here's what is included. We've got the router body adapter here. We've got an 8mm shank end mill cutter, and then we have this really cool adapter for your vacuum that will suck away the chips. It's just as easy as swinging it around the head of the unit and then installing the adapter for your vacuum hose. So that's really cool. Now, what are you going to need? You're going to need a small trim router that has a 64.8mm diameter body. That is a common size. If you click through to the link in the video description, I'll have more information about specifically which models are going to work. This is a Makita. This is model RT0701C, and that does indeed have that 64.8mm body. So we've got a router. We're also going to need an 8mm collet because that's the shank diameter for the end mill cutter. And you're also going to need a trim die. And so this does a couple things. It sizes the brass and therefore holds it from spinning. And that's when the trimmer is going to come and hit the end of the case and trim it. So Lyman makes these, Dylan makes this part. This is a 223 Remington size and trim die from Dylan Precision. We've got an Allen key here for adjusting the clamp on the body adapter. We're also going to need a shop vac. So that is a quick bill of materials on what's included and what you're going to need. Next, I'm going to go get a reloading press, get it mounted, and we'll put all of this together. Okay, so I've got my press in place here. I've already planned my vacuum hose adapter situation. We have a larger shop vac that we're going to use here, so I have that step up there. I've already got the adjustable base off the router body. We've got our 223 sizer die here, size trim die, and then I have some brass that is 223 rem that has already been trimmed. We're going to trim it a little bit further for this demo, and I've lubed that with some Hornady one shot. So I'm going to go ahead and get out this end mill here, put it into the collet. That is nice. Okay. I don't know exactly where it needs to be, so I'm going to be kind of in the middle, and we'll adjust that if needed. That is my official plan. Okay, so that's on. Now we've got the Armanov adapter here. Give that a little bit of a, okay. Yeah, that looks like that's going to be good right there. Give that a little bit of a snug. Okay, so next I'm going to get the size die adjusted. Okay, size and trim die is where I want it. We've got a projection of the brass up into the window there. So the next step is going to be to screw this in place. And we'll just take off a little bit. Like I said, this brass is already trimmed. This is from our mega lot of brass there. And what I'm going to do is just keep cranking that down until it stops, which is right there. Right there, okay. So if we want just a little bit of a trim, we'll just crank it a little bit more. Lock that off. That's not gonna go. Okay, and that lined up perfectly. I've got my power switch right here. So let's get everything else set up. Get this plugged in, get the vacuum hooked up, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I made one slight adjustment so that our chip collector would fit. I raised the body adapter for the router, and then I lowered the unit in the body adapter. So that should get us to where we need to go there. This now fits perfectly, and we can hold that captive by putting on the actual vacuum adapter there. Now we've got our adapter hose, and look at that, huh? We are ready to go. Okay, let's try a quick test trim. Where am I at now? I'm at 1.750. 1.746, so we took off just a little bit. I'm going to crank that down just a touch. Okay, so to review, we were at 1.750. We're not now at 1.746, and this should take off just a little bit more. .735, so we're taking off 15 thou. Okay, I'm going to trim some. You know what? That works great. You can just hear it wham, up at the top, that end mill trimming the brass down. Let's take a look. Wow, looks like basically mirror smooth. I'm going to do some measurements here. So we've got, I'm just going to zero it out here. Whoops, zero it out on that one. Okay, so that's 0. Let's confirm that that's 0. Okay. Now we can just look at the variation. Half a thou. Give it a little spin each time. Make sure we're at the right measurement there. About 1 thou there, difference. I think that was the case rim on that one. Yep, half thou. Got a little burr there. Half thou. So far, really consistent on that. 0. Within, that was negative half thou. -1. Let's clean that off a little bit there. 2. 1. And the last one. -2. So consistency, I mean, this is, you can see this one's not even sitting straight. This is brass that was previously fired, fully processed. You know, it's range pickup and it's a little dinged up. So this will be as consistent as our press and as consistent as our brass. So now I want to show a scenario that I believe will bring out the best consistency possible. We saw the range pickup. Now let's trim some high quality brand new brass just to get that consistency number on trim length. I'm going to tear this down. I'm going to build it back up around this 308 trim die from Dylan, and we'll show that consistency scenario. And then I also want to talk about all of the factors affecting trim length. Okay, so I got the 223 set up, torn down, and I've already installed the 308 trim die. And I just checked with this piece of brass that we have enough neck presented into the window here where we're going to be able to adjust the cutter height. And speaking of the cutter height, there are 3 different variables that affect overall trim length. The first is how deep the end mill cutter is seated in the router, right? We use the collet, we tighten that. That is now set, and we can adjust that quite a bit, actually. The second is the height of the die in the press, and my suggestion is that you adjust the height so that you have enough brass protruding into the window that you can do your trim, but also think about the other effects like bumping back the shoulder and the different sizing dynamics. What we tend to do on a progressive press is use this more or less to hold the case, and we don't do all of the sizing here. It's just the trim station. And then we'll have a separate sizing die, and you can size the brass first, use this just to hold it, a bunch of different ways to set it up. Just know that this is one of the factors that's going to be affecting your trim length. And then the third is we can adjust the height of the router on the die by rotating the Armanov housing and then locking it with the lock nut. So I'm going to get the router installed and then we'll go ahead and set this trim height. Okay, so I'm going to bring the brass up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of set it on here so that it is touching. We'll withdraw the brass, and then we're going to take the lock nut off here, and then just turn it down a little bit so that we get a bit of a trim. Again, this particular setup, the purpose of it is just to explore the precision, the repeatability of trim length. Okay, so that is the basic setup. Next, I'm going to plug it in and we'll do a test trim. Okay, so we're plugged in. We're down probably, I don't know, 10 thou or so, something like that, into the brass. Let's do one test trim before we hook up the vacuum. Okay, so to get a basic idea of how much we've taken off, we're going to take a brand new piece of brass, zero it there, and we'll take the one that we just trimmed, and we'll see how far down we've gone. 9. I was pretty close. I was 1,000th off. So we're going to trim 9 thousandths. I'm going to set this one aside since that was our setup, and we'll do 10. Before that, I'm going to get the vacuum connected, and we'll see how consistent this cut is going to be. Okay, so I got the vacuum connected. We're going to turn that on, turn on the router, and then trim our 10 test pieces. Let's do this. Okay, that's a bit quieter now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one piece again, just like we did last time. We're going to establish a baseline 0 here, right there. We're going to see how much variance we get. 2. Half. Half. 0. 1.5 minus. 2 minus. All of these have been in the minus direction if they've been varying at all. Minus 1. Minus 1. Minus half. Okay. So this time, our extreme spread was 2/1000ths of an inch. That is awesome. That's going to cover every scenario except the most demanding, crazy, over-the-top bench rest shooter. And if you click through to the article, we'll run the SD on both numbers for the 223 and for the 308 so that you can get the full picture. Okay, so there you have it. We've trimmed 223 range pickup and we've trimmed Peterson brand new 308 just to show you guys 2 different scenarios and 2 different kinds of results. If you're looking at getting a trim router, or if you have a trim router that is the right diameter, I think this tool makes absolutely a lot of sense. It works great. It produces a great finish on the brass. Yes, you're going to need to do your inside and outside chamfer. That's true of all automated trimmers that use a flat cutter like this one. Overall, the kit is cost effective. I will make one note about our last setup here is you'll notice we have our 1/4 inch collet here supporting the ducting. And that could be fixed if we just raised the end mill cutter in the router so that we could lower the head and then get the gap correct between our lock nut for the die and our lock nut for the trimmer assembly. That's just a minor note there. So with this in place, this is working great. I'd be curious to know what you all think about the Armanov router case trimmer setup. I think this is great. I would definitely use this. And like I said earlier, I would definitely use this on a progressive press as well. It's going to work just like this. I used this setup for simplicity and it was really easy. This is also a great way to do it as well if you want to do it as a single stage kind of in and out kind of scenario. So again, if you want to join me down in the comment section, drop a comment. If you click through to the full article, we'll have more information about router interoperability and details about the actual unit and the cost and all of that. So thank you very much for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't done so, first off, go to ultimatereloader.com/subscribe. You're gonna wanna check out our newsletter where we've got free downloadable resources, content recaps, deals, and more. Second, if you want a sneak peek of our exclusive membership community, go to ultimatereloader.com/pro or just go to the homepage and click on the button. One of the things I want to highlight there is our monthly live streams. Each month, we're going to take your questions, we're going to provide industry updates, and we're going to talk about what's happening at Ultimate Reloader. You can either watch live and chat with us in the live chat, or you can consume it like a podcast after the fact. ultimatereloader.com/pro.